UFC 295 just happened. Wow, what an incredible fight card that was. I stayed up till 6 AM on live stream to watch it all with you guys. And here's my live reaction to the co-main and main event. Nice low kick by Tom. Good movement. Stay on the outside. Oh, he's knocked him out. He's knocked him out. He's got it. Tom done it. He done it. Let's go. Damn. That was incredible. That 1:05. Oh, nice right hand by Yuri. Oh, Alex Pereira's knocked down Yuri. He's hitting him with the elbows. Yuri's in on a single. He's done. He's done, lad. He's done. Oh, Yuri's done. Oh, lad. Oh, second round KO. What? Absolutely fantastic. Where to start with this card? We're only going to cover the main two fights, and we're going to keep this video short and brief because I want to get another video up today. But the main card was absolutely fantastic. It was a 100% finishing rate. Let's start with Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall. I said Tom Aspinall was going to get this fight done. Now, I think I predicted a third round submission by Tom Aspinall, but he get that submission by first knocking down Sergey Pavlovich. That didn't happen whatsoever. Before we address the fight itself and how it went down, can we show a little bit of appreciation to how these two fighters shown each other respect, especially when they met face to face before the fight began? A very wholesome moment. I liked it. I had butterflies in my belly. It was just a good display of respect. You could tell that both fighters knew what they were getting themselves into. Tom Aspinall said before this fight, I was nervous, I was scared, I was thinking some days that I wasn't going to beat him, then other days I was thinking, no, I've got this in the bag. And I seen a lot of people in my chat when we were live saying, Tom looks nervous, he looks nervous. And I was saying, yeah, he's going to be nervous. Don't look too much into that. The best fighters in the world always talk about being nervous. You've got GSP, he spoke about being nervous. Mike Tyson spoke about being nervous. John Jones doesn't look people in the eye when he does stare downs. He spoke about being nervous. He dreamt of Rampage Jackson beating him. It's normal to have fear, but wow, Tom Aspinall, what an absolute display by him. I thought it might have went a bit longer. The reason why I thought third round, or at least get out to the first round, was because Sergey Pavlovich has got a good chin. He's got that big square block head. He's got a thick neck. He gets tagged a little bit here and there, but he doesn't really get rocked. Whereas we've seen Tom Aspinall get tagged a little bit. He keeps his chin up in the air, so I thought he's going to strike in the first round, keep it range, throw low kicks, then in the second round do a little bit more offensive wrestling, and then in the third round, because he's going to make Sergey Pavlovich guess, he's going to feint low with a takedown and then knock him down with a punch and then get the submission. But I couldn't have been more wrong. One thing I did get right is that Tom Aspinall won. This was one of those wins where you felt warmness in your heart. He's not a divvy. He's very humble as well. Now, let's address the John Jones fight. Obviously, John Jones is out with his pec tear injury. Dana White has now confirmed that John Jones and Stipe Miocic will happen. So it looks like Tom Aspinall isn't going to get that dream fight of fighting John Jones unless a spanner gets thrown in the works and Tom Aspinall can maybe be the backup fight for the Jones and Stipe fight. But it's looking like when Jones and Stipe fight, they're both going to retire. So it's unfortunate because I think out of the heavyweight division, it's not really a stacked division, but Tom Aspinall possesses all the attributes and skill sets to be the one who would dethrone John Jones. Before this fight, I was thinking, yeah, Tom Aspinall would probably present John Jones the most problems. Sergey Pavlovich, probably not so much because he's a little bit more one-dimensional when contrasted to Tom Aspinall. But Tom Aspinall, yeah, he'd probably present Jones some problems, but Jones would probably win. Now, after this fight, seeing how fast Aspinall was, seeing how well he was moving, he literally moves like a lightweight. Another thing that I noticed, he had really good head movement. Okay, he got caught a little bit and his gum shield popped out of his mouth. But when Sergey was throwing, you could see he was rolling his shoulder. That's like a new kink to his game that I've noticed. He never used to do that much, but he's getting that head movement going. Tom Aspinall, from what I'm seeing, is going from strength to strength. I think if John Jones and Stipe both retire and Tom Aspinall and Jones don't get the chance to unify the belt, then Tom Aspinall will go on to reign the heavyweight division for a good amount of time. Like, who's really going to present Tom Aspinall any problems? Let's take a look at the rankings now. I hope you like my new layout. I'm going to be increasing the production quality of my live streams, so make sure you tune in on the next live stream. We got John Jones at the top. This needs to be updated. Now we've got, where is Tom Aspinall? So he's still a fourth. Ciryl Gane. That'll be an interesting matchup between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane because Ciryl Gane has got all the movement, but he doesn't really have the same power and the same pop in his punches that Tom Aspinall does. He also doesn't really have a ground game like Tom Aspinall does. So Ciryl Gane is almost more of a point fighter. I think that'll be an interesting matchup. Sergey Pavlovich obviously just lost. Stipe Miocic would retire. So who's left in the heavyweight division after Jones and Miocic go? It's going to be Ciryl Gane, Curtis Blades. Tom Aspinall and Curtis could run that back. You've got Alexander Volkov. Like, nah, not really. It's not going to present much of a threat. You've got Jailton Almeida. He's obviously running through everyone right now. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert specialist. He just had a very boring fight against Derek Lewis on the last weekend though, so his stock isn't really doing much at the moment. He needs to get a good few wins. I think another like 3 or 4 wins under his belt before you'd even talking about getting him to fight Tom Aspinall. You've got Sergey Spivak. Tom beat Sergey Spivak. It was his return fight. Aito Avase, he's on a losing streak right now. There's no one in this heavyweight division. You need to make this John Jones and Tom Aspinall fight because there's no real movement. Who have you got in that top 5 who was a threat after you remove Jones and Stipe Miocic? I don't know. The future is very bleak for the heavyweight division, but the future is bright for Tom Aspinall. And hey, the UK is doing pretty good right now. I'm not a big fan of UK MMA because it can be a little bit boring at times. UK MMA fighters fight a little bit bland. We're not really great at any one area. You can look at the Russians and the Dagestanis and say, okay, they're really good at wrestling. You can look at the Americans and say, well, they're good at wrestling. They're very well-rounded, the Americans, very good at wrestling, but they've also got really good striking. Brazilians, who are fantastic at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, of course, and who have also got really good boxing and good low kicks, whereas the UK is a little bit stale, but we're making a comeback, boys. We've got Leon Edwards, who's 4th in the pound-for-pound rankings at the moment. Mohamed Mokaev, I can never say his name. We've got Arnold Allen. Now we've got Tom Aspinall, who's the first British heavyweight champion, putting us on the map. We've got Nathaniel Wood. You've got Paddy Pimblett, but he's got a lot of proving to do. So the British scene is on the up, but fantastic work to Tom Aspinall. This fight really gave me a warm feeling in my belly. I was so happy for him. And then we had Jiri Prohaska versus Alex Pereira. Wow, what a fight that was. I was on the edge of my seat. I predicted Alex Pereira by 3rd or 4th round knockout. I can't really remember, but I chose him to win, and that's the most important thing. I was going back and forth on this fight constantly, even right up until the fight was going to begin. I was like, maybe Jiri's going to get it. I'm like, no, Alex Pereira's going to get it. No, but Jiri's got that X factor. He's very unconventional, and it's just because I love both fighters, and also they're pretty evenly matched in terms of skill set and unpredictability. Jiri's got over 30 MMA fights, and he's a big kid as well. You've got Alex Pereira, who's only on, well, that was his 11th fight, but he's got all that experience in glory. He's now a 2-division champion. He's shown time and time again that you shouldn't underestimate him. But let's talk about the fight itself. First round happens. Alex Pereira establishes that low kick. Incredible low kick. I was talking about how he uses his technique on the live stream, and to briefly recap it, I was talking about if these are your feet on the floor, when you throw a low kick usually, or a roundhouse in general, your foot turns over like this, and you hit with either your foot or your shin usually, but you turn your foot over and you turn your hips into it. Watch Alex Pereira. He doesn't do that. His hips stay square, and he sits back a little bit, and he hits you with the inside of his foot or the inside of his shin. It's a very weird, unorthodox low kick, but I haven't really seen many people throw it like that. But what we can see now, it's clear as day. Alex Pereira's opponents struggle to check that low kick, even though they know it's coming. They've had 12 weeks, 8 weeks fight camp preparing for that low kick, and they still can't predict it because there's no telegraphing it. From like the first kick, Jiri was having trouble. There was a point in the stream where they said if Alex can get another 6 or 8 low kicks on Jiri, it might even end the fight. Jiri might not be able to continue on, and it was almost like in that first round that you could see that ring rust. He couldn't get his shots off. He couldn't get into his rhythm, his flow state, but that's going to be the case. You're going to have a little bit more of a slow start when you've had so much time off. In that second round, we see Jiri close the distance a lot more. He started making the fight dirty. He got right in range of Alex and brought the fight to Alex and had a much better round, but Alex was able to capitalise. So let's talk about this finish. There was a bit of a debate in the chat about whether it was an early stoppage or not. I think I counted at the time there was around 13 to 15 unanswered strikes by Alex Pereira. Pereira threw the right hook, knocked Jiri's head over this way and led him right into that left hook. He didn't even get a good full extension on it either. He punched him when his arm was still back here, so he didn't get full power. That knocked Jiri down. Jiri went for the takedown, and then Alex rained down hammer fists and elbows galore. Bang, 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 bang. And then Jiri's body went limp, and he fell down to the ground. Now, obviously, he kept hold of Alex's legs, so you could say he was still in the fight, but you can see him go limp. We have to look at it through the referee's eyes. And then Alex gets a couple more shots off, and then the referee, Mark Goddard, steps in. Now, was it an early stoppage? I think a little bit. It wasn't like blatant, like, what the hell? Like, that's an early stoppage. That's terrible that you need to run it back. No, not at all. I think the stoppage is right on the line of being, okay, and a little bit early. Once again, it was like 15 unanswered shots. Around 7 or 8 of them were elbows to the side of the temple. Could the referee have let it go? Yeah, he probably could have, but Alex was going to end up in full mount, and it was looking like Alex was going to finish the fight anyway. These are all hypotheticals. Yuri even said at the end, he said it was a good stoppage. I was KO'd, I was rocked. Yeah, I'm not going to debate it. Now, I've seen a few people say, well, yeah, of course, Yuri's going to say that because of his stoicism. He practices stoicism. I'm a Yuri Prochazka fan, by the way. Can't make excuses like that for him. Yuri himself said it was a good stoppage. He said he was rocked. Do I think these two meet again in the future? It depends. I actually don't think so. I think Alex might fight maybe like 2 or 3 more times. I don't know how many fights are left on his contract. To defend the belt, he's going to go up against Jamal Hill next, most likely. So the question is, will Alex retire before Yuri gets the rematch? I'd like to see a rematch between both of them, yeah. I think Yuri needs another tune-up fight. He spent a year out and injured his shoulder pretty badly. He had shoulder surgery. That ring rust, it's a big factor. I was saying on the build-up that if you ever want the safe bet, always go with the active fighter, just because that activity plays a massive role in your success within the UFC. But Alex Pereira, what a story this is. He's 36 years old. He's a former 2-division Glory kickboxing champion. He's the former middleweight champion, and now he's the light heavyweight champion. What an absolute rise to success he has had. He came from nothing, and since he moved to the UFC, he has done it so fast. Alex Pereira spoke English, he would be a superstar. Please, Alex Pereira, learn a bit of English. I know you don't have to. You don't have to at all. You can already tell he's very charismatic. Imagine Alex Pereira with the English skills of Paulo Costa. You're onto an absolute superstar right there. So obviously this needs to be changed. We've got Alex Pereira as the new undisputed light heavyweight champion. Jamal Hill will be next for Alex Pereira. Who would Yuri Prochazka fight? He would probably be best fighting someone coming off a loss like Jan Blachowicz or Magomed Ankalaev. Although Magomed Ankalaev had a no contest against Johnny Walker. So it would probably make sense for Magomed Ankalaev to run this fight back with Johnny Walker. Then maybe the winner of that fight could fight Yuri Prochazka, depending on how quick of a turnaround he wants. Or Yuri could fight Jan Blachowicz. He's obviously coming off a loss against Alex Pereira. I think they're the main 2 fights that make sense for Yuri, to be honest. Honestly, really good UFC event, and made up because for people like me in the UK who've got to stay up to 6 AM to watch these fights, it's a little bit of a bummer and a little bit of a letdown when all the fights are decisions. But absolutely fantastic, and made up for Tom Aspinall, and made up for Alex Pereira. Sergey Pavlovich and Yuri Prochazka will be back stronger than ever. Only about 5% of my channel watch this pure MMA stuff, so if you are one of these people watching it, give the video a like, drop it a comment, just to help boost it into the algorithm a little bit more. But yeah, I appreciate all the support. Make sure you subscribe for fitness, fighting, and everything conflict and controversy related on the internet. See you all tomorrow.